Fhéile Bhríde Chuna Díobh go léir. This is the morning of Brigid's Day in the Coire Sois garden, and we have our fire lit in honour of Brigid, and I wish you all Banachtaí Bhríde, Brigid's blessings. And we're going to now have a little demo on making the Brigid's cross from my son Rowan, while Tuan, who will be just out of shot, is going to play an original tune on the fiddle. So I hope you all enjoy this, and blessings of the transformation of Brigid's forge, of her healing, her midwifing through the different thresholds of life, and her imbas, inspiration to create the illumination for creative expression. So I will take over the filming. Right, off you go.
Alright.
Now, Tuan, if you want to be out of shot, you might need to be over there a bit.
Well, good morning. Here we go. Hopefully I'm going to remember how to do this now.
Hopefully you are, my dear, or it'll be all a waste of time. So just here on our table we have our lovely Brigid image. This is by Dan Goodfellow of Glastonbury, who has done the beautiful art for this deck, Celtic Goddesses, Witches and Queens, created with his wife Danu Forrest, and they are absolute soul family to all of us, so we send them our love as we have Dan's lovely image on our table this morning. So here we have our basket of rushes, collected yesterday over at Ladies Island, close to the Holy Well. So very special. Okay, Rowan, over to you.
Cool. So, to start off your cross, you want to start with a nice strong rush or reed, whatever you call them.
Rush.
A rush. There you go.
It's all a great rush.
Make sure you're not in a rush though.
Ha ha.
Anyway, start with a nice strong one. And this one's just going to stay straight. You're not going to bend it or anything like that. Then you'll bring your second one in, and you want to bend it just in the middle. Make sure it's folded over. And then you'll take that piece and just slide it across. So you'll be starting off with your nice strong straight one, and then just bent around it there. You have the next one coming off it. And the whole time, the way I'm going to do it anyway is use my left hand to hold the cross, and my right hand will be placing new pieces on.
Yeah, and when your mammy does it, me, in other words, being a left-hander or a kitchog as we say, I'd probably be the other way round. But yeah, for most people that's probably helpful.
So once you have one going off to the right hand side, you then want to have one coming down. So you'll take your next one, bend it again in the middle, and then you'll place it over the one that's sticking out to the side. And that will just be pressed over it nice and tight, and that'll hold it in place. And then with the hand that's holding the cross, you'll be pinching both the centerpiece and the new one that has just gone on, holding it all in place. Now I get another one, and again bend it in the middle, and this time we're going to go off to the left and just wrap it around there.
I hope I'm holding the camera the right way and we're not just missing these important little bits.
I hope so. And then once you have this piece going off to the left, this is where it gets really fun, because now you're going to turn the whole thing anti-clockwise.
Ew.
And then take that left hand or right hand, whichever, and pinch the very bottom one to lock it all in place. And then you'll take another rush, bend it in the middle, and now from here on out we only place them on pointing to the left. And every time you place on a new one, you're going to turn it counterclockwise and pinch the bottom ones to hold everything in place, and so on and so forth. That will be the rest of the process from there. Now I'll undo these and do it one more time facing the other way, and you can put the camera sort of over my shoulder so you might get a better idea of what it'll look like when it's actually in your own hand. Might be easier to follow along.
Wait, now where am I going then? Am I walking
Oh,
behind you?
No, you just stay where you are. I'll turn around.
Ah.
I know, genius, isn't it?
You're so clever. Must be genetic.
So just make sure you can kind of see what's happening
Okay.
over my shoulder. So back to the start. We had that nice, strong, straight one that we're starting with. And the first one you put on is going to be bent over it like so, wrapped around it nice and tight, and it's going to stick off to the right. And then the next one is going to go down. So again, just bend it over and nice and tight around the new one that's coming out. Then you get another one. This one's going to go to the left, and you wrap it around nice and tight so that's wrapping around everything, holding it together, and that's when you turn once you have one on each direction. And from there we just keep adding ones pointing to the left, basically. And there you go. You just keep adding on more and more until it looks like...
Are you going to finish one first?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, go on.
Okay. While you're doing it as well, be sure to keep a nice tight grip on the whole thing. As you can see, I lost my grip a little bit and it's a little bit loose in the middle.
Never good to lose the grip.
But never good to lose your grip. But no harm. As we add a few more on, it'll all tighten up, we hope.
Just realised the camera was up a bit too high, so I need to have it down where you're doing the work.
That would be good.
Rowan, those old kayak instruction skills are coming into play now.
Oh yeah.
I can see you're a trained instructor.
Not a trained crossmaker though. But we'll get there. And if things do get a little bit loose, you can always kind of push everything into the center again, tighten it up, and then grip onto whichever one. Try and remember which one you had as the bottom, and grip onto that.
Just like life, Rowan. When things are getting too loose and falling apart and unravelling, you can always pull it back together.
You can. You sure can. There's lots of different styles of these crosses, but this is a nice handy one.
Yeah, the four-armed one.
And probably the most sort of recognised one as well.
Yeah.
I'd say.
But just to say, Michael Fortune on folklore.ie is a fount of information and has videos of beautiful crosses. I saw an amazing, very complex kind of Celtic knot type one on his page the other day. So go and take a look and check out folklore.ie.
Yeah, if you want to see someone who really knows what they're doing.
Well, I'm very grateful to you. An bhuíoch ditch a walk. And an bhuíoch ditch a walk tuin as ucht an ceol áling.
And at this point, you'll probably be well in the swing of it, so you won't even be thinking about what you're doing. You'll be quite meditative. Work away on your cross and, I don't know, reflect on things.
Yeah, call in the imbas of Brigid, as Tuin's doing now, because he's just improving something that's coming to him, which is very much the imbas of Brigid coming through. So this, for me, you know, this is Brigid's feast day, and we have this whole crossover of Brigid as goddess and saint, and we know very little of goddess Brigid apart from the fact that she was the first queen in Ireland on the death of her son Ruan at the first Battle of Moytura. But we have lots of stories of Brigid as saint. And, you know, it's very hard to track and find evidence for any historical kind of background, but in the hearts of Irish people, Brigid is hugely important. And to be honest, she's not even a saint according to the Catholic Church. You know, back in 1969, 200 saints were demoted. Brigid was one, Christopher was one, St. Anthony was one, and actually Anthony and Brigid would both be ones that have a lot of devotion in Ireland. But for me, Brigid is primarily the goddess. So here we have a really good sense. You can see that centre part now, the beautiful eye of the cross. So at this point now, you might decide your arms were thick enough on your cross, and what you would do is just take a nice little bit of thread or something and tie off the ends of the arms and then just trim them, and then that'll go up in your home to bring in Brigid's blessings and protections for the year to come. So on this lovely, bright, very appropriately spring-like morning on Fhéile Bhríde, I'll say slán and banach tí to you all, and buíochas mór, huge thanks to Rowan for his demo and to Tuan for the fiddle. Slán go fóil, grá agus banach tí.